These provisions, this 2026 Electoral Act, the provisions that I have identified are not repeated immediately. I want to say that the integrity of the 2027 election will be in flames. I want to quickly advise INEC to quickly go back to the National Assembly to call for the repeal of this section 63 as quickly as possible.
All right, so there's a report that is actually claiming that Tinubu is trying to rig the election with these three laws. These three laws is enough for him to win the election. And they have actually included it into the law already. So with these three laws is enough to rig any election, whether he wins or not. And right now, if the ADC doesn't fight this, then I can tell you that there is no guarantee that he can ever win, because the law has actually been defeated. And so let us take a look at this law according to the people that actually made it known. Nobody make it know. Now don't watch people where they talk, you understand? So let us check it. The first one is section 63. So let us go over what section 63 actually says. It says, rejection of ballot paper without official mark. 1. Subject to subsection 2. A ballot paper which does not bear the official mark prescribed by the commissioner shall not be counted. Listen, they said it's not going to be counted. Then 2, where the returning officer is satisfied that a ballot paper which does not bear the official mark was not from the book of the ballot paper which was furnished to the presiding officer of the polling unit in which the vote was cast for use at the election in question, he or she shall, notwithstanding the absence of the official mark, count the ballot paper. I don't know if you understand what you're saying. So this is what they are trying to say, that they in the law introduce subjective judgment. That if the officer is satisfied, if you go over it again, it says if the officer is satisfied. And so what are we talking about when we say an officer is satisfied? Instead of them to do the right thing, you are saying if the officer is satisfied with another kind of ballot that is not part of the normal ballot, he can add it to it. And so if that person is satisfied, he can actually just pack everything to it. And now there is no standard for the word satisfied. And this could actually allow fake ballots to be added, extra votes to be smuggled in. And as reported, critics are arguing that this could let officials accept ballots without security features, which in turn open door to manipulation. And so their intended legal logic to this is that sometimes genuine ballots may be damaged or misprinted. And this clause prevents valid votes from being wrongly rejected. And so the real intention is that this gives too much power to the officials for abuse. So let's imagine that they buy the officials now. The officials can just determine that, you see, this one is part of it, it's part of it, it's part of it. Whereas it was not part of the original document in the first place. So they can actually sneak in more ballots in. They can even bring in more votes and more ballots. You see that this is a very big problem. And this is just the first one. This is just the first one. The second one is the section 137. Persons entitled to present election petition. Where the petitioner complains of the conduct of an electoral officer, a presiding or returning officer, it shall not be necessary to join such officers or person, notwithstanding the nature of the complaint, and the commission shall in this stance be made a respondent and deemed to be defending the petition for itself and on behalf of its officers or such other person. And so according to the simple version, they are making it known that if you are challenging an election, you do not need to include any individual officers like presiding officers. So if the presiding officers does anything wrong, probably they try to cheat their way in, probably they try to do anything wrong, nobody can hold them accountable, because it is INEC that will not say they want to stand for somebody that did something wrong. Do you understand that? And so instead, INEC will represent them. Tinubu has entered. This is crazy. And so why are people worried? If officers commit wrongdoing, they are not personally held accountable in court. INEC defend everything collectively. So they will just pack all your defend everything. So they will be the one to defend the person that actually cheats. So they are so people interpret it as shielding individuals from scrutiny. Somebody that has committed an offense, and then we decide that, oh, they are the one that will take charge, making it harder to prove who actually did what is the person is being accused of. This concern is also highlighted in the debate around the act. And so, the intended legal logic, one, to simplify court cases, two, to avoid dragging hundreds of officials into one case, meaning that they already know that hundreds of officials will be dragged. And so the real intention, law intention, efficiency, public fear, lack of accountability. And so the last one, which is the 138, grounds for petition. An act or omission which may be contrary to the instruction or directive of the commission officer appointed for the purpose of the election, but which is not contrary to the provision of this act, shall not in itself be a ground for questioning the election. What the law says in simple version, if an official breaks the INEC guidelines but does not break the actual law, that alone is not enough to cancel the election. So you be like saying that this presiding officer, these people want P to do this job, because make it make sense. So if the presiding officers break any law, it's not enough to cancel the election. Why are people worried? Critics interpret it like this: INEC gives rule, e.g., how to upload results, procedures, etc. If officials ignore these rules by not uploading really well, by not following the procedures, you can't use that alone to challenge the election. So people are saying that officials can disobey instructions, right, and still face no legal consequence in court. This is why critics are now arguing that it weakens accountability and the intended legal logic. Not every mistake should cancel in an election. This country is a joke. Then another one says courts should focus on serious legal violations, not minor procedural issues. So it's not considered a minor procedural issue. And so the real intention to prevent frivolous lawsuits and public fear, it creates a loophole for ignoring rules. And so across all these three sections, the pattern people are seeing is this. Section 63, fake ballots can be accepted. Section 138, rule breaking won't invalidate election. Section 137, officials would be personally accountable. And so in conclusion, the critics are actually making it known that you can manipulate ballots, ignore guidelines, and nobody is individually responsible. That's what they are telling us in short. They are telling us that you can manipulate the ballot paper. You can also ignore guidelines, and nobody will be... You see the reason why they are saying they are won like this? So your vote doesn't actually need to count. They just need to falsify results, then come out and come and tell you that you can manipulate ballots, ignore guidelines, and nobody is individually responsible. And so at the end of the day, the law has been used to enable rigging by Tinubu. And this is not me talking, this is what many people are already saying. You understand? I'm just saying what they are saying. You understand? So what do you actually think about these three rules? Is this rule enough for Tinubu to be called the winner in the 2027 election? Because I don't know why these three something should exist in the first place, but it has existed and nobody is talking about it. So let's just hope that it will not be the case. But it is Tinubu. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do well to do, because we are finished.